together.
Okay, I'm here though. Bye.
Bye. Good morning. Welcome to Saturday morning yoga. Thank you so much for joining me today on the mat. Way to show up. We're going to start today in a nice, easy seated pose. Finding a nice, even seat between the sit bones. We'll welcome a deep inhalation here, rising tall through the crown of the head. And a slow exhale, slowly feel the tension relax out of the shoulders, out of the face, coming to bring yourself into this present moment right here, right now. Noticing how you feel. Another deep inhale here. And call to mind something as we're going into the new year, something that you're wanting to let go of this year, something that's no longer serving you, you're wanting to leave behind in the last year. Just calling it to mind's eye for a moment, setting that intention to let go. Inhaling deep. Exhale, slowly let go. Now shifting your attention to something that you'd like to cultivate this coming year, something you'd like to bring into your life, grow more of, maybe courage, gratitude, self-love, whatever it may be. Just call it to mind's eye here, setting the intention for the new year. Another deep inhale, rising tall through the crown of the head. We're going to begin in just a brief breathing exercise at our box breath. It'll be inhaling for 4 counts, holding the inhale in for 4 counts, exhaling out for 4 counts, in, holding the exhale out for 4 counts. So kind of a box. We're going to go for here. I'll count along the first 2 times. We'll let you go your own count the last. Here we go. We'll inhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. We'll go one more round here. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. And release. You can return to your regular breathing pattern. Just let yourself sit here in this cultivated sense of peace and calm you've created for yourself through your breath. We're going to start off with some movement. Inhaling tall, we'll exhale, release the chin towards the chest, start to round the neck, the head here, side to side. We'll come back through center, And take the bottoms of the feet together here, kind of opening into a gentle butterfly. We'll bind our hands around the feet and circle the body out for the feet. Switching direction. And we'll come back through center. Take one leg out to the side, opening wide. We'll inhale, reach forward with the hands. And inhale, roll it all the way up, reaching arms overhead, dropping the same arm as the leg inside. The other arm goes overhead. We'll turn our gaze up, stack shoulders, kind of reaching the hands for the toes. And back up. We switch sides, extending through the other leg straight, bending the other one in. Let's fall forward first here. And we'll inhale, roll it all the way up, reach the arms overhead. Release the inside arm down, the outside arm overhead. Breathing into the side body. We inhale, roll it all the way up. We'll open the legs out wide and reach down for a forward fold down the center here. You can feel free to add some dynamic movement, folding and lifting through the chest. Just ensuring to try to keep the knees and toes rolled up to the ceiling. And finding stillness, releasing into the fold, welcoming a deep breath. Exhale, relaxing through the legs. We inhale, sit up. We'll plant the feet, hands behind the hips. We're just window shield wiping side to side. And we'll plant the feet, still hands behind the hips, maybe fingertips pointing forward. We're going to lift up the hips into a reverse tabletop and then straighten through the knees. Try to keep the hips lifted as you press them back between the hands. We'll come through into reverse table and back and down with the hips. Try to keep them lifted the best you can. Inhale up into reverse tabletop. Exhale, release the hips down. We straighten through the legs. Inhaling, arms overhead. And exhale, forward folding, reaching belly to thighs, drawing long through the spine, chest open. Inhale. And exhale, more round through the spine. Just take a deeper fold here, even if it kind of makes you round. We'll inhale all the way up to seated. Tuck the legs in, step the hands through into our tabletop position, cat-cow. All right, so here we're going to draw the belly down, open the chest forward, gaze forward. Exhale, push the air out, round through the spine. Inhale, we'll take our cow pose, shining chest forward. Exhale, push the air out and round. Inhale once more, just really getting the feel to connect each movement with breath. Rounding. We'll come back through center. Walking the hands a bit forward, keeping the hips stacked right over the knees. We'll let the heart melt down to the ground. Maybe the forehead reaches to the ground, or your chin gazing forward, going a bit deeper. Inhale into the heart center. And exhale, bend into the elbows, roll forward. We're coming into Sphinx, stacking the elbows right under the shoulders. Just taking a gentle back bend, really pulling the shoulder blades back and together. We'll bend through the right knee and bring the knee in line with the hip, flexing through the right foot. We'll take the left arm to the opposite of this leg out Thread it underneath the right, and then the right arm is going to go overhead as we come into a twist, turning our gaze opposite of the leg. Deep breath here, really get a nice twist. We'll untwist, unthread the arm. The left arm that's unthreading will come 90 degrees out to your side, perpendicular to your body. We're pressing and rolling the right hip on top of the left, getting another little twist, but while getting a shoulder and front of the chest stretch here with the left arm. We'll come back through center, bringing the elbows right under the shoulders. Inhale. We'll take the left knee out in line with the left hip, flexing through the foot. The right arm threads underneath the left, and the left arm goes overhead. We turn the gaze opposite the knee, taking a nice twist. Coming back through center, on threading the arm. The right arm extends right out to your side, 90 degrees. And we'll roll the left hip on top of the right, stretching through the arm. Coming back through center, we'll place the hands right under the shoulders, kind of in line with the chest. We'll inhale, start to press the elbows straight as you squeeze the glutes, pulling the chest forward, shoulder blades reaching back together away from the ears. You'll feel your pelvis kind of rooting, grounding here, pressing into the ground. Inhale, just stretch into the abs, and exhale, push the hips back to the heels, round through the spine, child's pose. Feel free to come back to this pose anytime throughout the practice. Just reconnect, kind of regain some strength. We'll reach the hands forward, tuck the back toes, and straighten through the knees. Maybe just take a few bends and straighten here. And coming to find stillness, lifting the hips as high as you can, kind of sticking the butt out in the air, letting the belly fall towards the thighs, ears away from the shoulders. Maybe pulling the heels toward the ground for an extra hamstring stretch. Wonderful. We're going to inhale, step the right foot forward here. Try to get it outside of the right hand. We step it forward, bend into the right knee. We're finding a lunge. We step the foot back and switch. Left foot steps forward outside of the left hand. Lunge. We're taking switches here. So just a few times, warming up into the hips at your own tempo. Stepping forward into lunge and back into down dog. Forward into lunge and back. And we'll come back into our downward facing dog. Find just a little stillness here. We'll lift the heels, bend the knees, walk the feet in towards the hands at the top of the mat. Releasing here into a forward fold. Bending the knees generously, letting the belly come onto the thighs. Maybe let's dangle. Just always my favorite pose to do in every practice. Just letting the spine be long. The head is so heavy here. No tension in the neck or in the shoulders. You can grab opposite elbow and sway. On the next inhale, we'll straighten through the knees, straighten through the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, release down once more into a forward fold, maybe straightening through the legs a bit more. We inhale, bend through the knees, round through the spine, roll it all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, hands by your side. Just taking a moment in our mountain pose, Tadasana, let the blood settle a bit. Grounding through the feet, rising tall through the head. We'll go through some sun salutation to kind of further warming up the body, bringing us more into, rhythm with our body. We'll inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen, hands to shins, find length in the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back into plank. We'll inhale, find length here. On the exhale, feel free to bend the knees. We take a chaturanga, elbows bend 90 degrees, tucked into your side. And we'll inhale, push forward and up with the chest. Maybe you're able to keep the thighs lifted here and into an upward dog instead of a cobra, still squeezing the glutes to protect the low back. Inhale and exhale, downward facing dog. We'll inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, and step, or you can hop your feet in towards your hands, releasing into a forward fold before inhaling, rolling it all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, hands by your side. We're going to go for another round. Take your own tempo. We'll inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold, plant the hands back into plank. Inhaling here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, step or hop your feet to your hands, releasing into a fold, and inhaling all the way up to standing, rising. Exhale, release. Wonderful. We'll go to a second version with some extra spice. We'll bring big toes together, heels apart. Inhale, sit the hips back and down into chair pose, arms rise by your ears. We'll exhale, release into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step it back into plank. Inhaling. Exhale, we flow down, forward and up with the chest. Back and up, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up, three-legged. Exhale, we drive knee to the right elbow. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, drive knee to the left elbow. Inhale, three-legged. We're going to drive the knee in towards the chest, pressing shoulder blades away, rising up onto the back toes. We step the foot between the hands. We'll inhale, rise into our high lunge, deep bend in the front knee, straight through the back leg. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step the foot back into plank. Feel free to hop right back to down dog or take your flow down through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale. Oh, downward dog. We'll take it to the other side. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Inhale, draw the knee to the left arm. Inhale. And we'll draw the knee to the left or right arm. Inhale, back to three-legged. Draw the knee towards the chest. We step the foot between the hands. Rise, crescent lunge. Inhaling here. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the foot back into plank. Down dog or take your flow, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. We'll inhale. Let's take a cleansing breath. Deep breath into the belly. Audible exhale. Let it go. We'll inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Flow or step the feet towards the hands, top of the mat, releasing into a fold. Bringing big toes together again. We sit the hips back down into our chairs. We stand up. We stand all the way up. Beautiful. We'll go for it a bit more here. All right. Inhale, we sit the hips down into our chair pose. We'll take a few heel lifts here, rising onto the tippy toes. Getting really nice and low with the hips. And we'll release, take a forward fold. Planting the hands in front of you, we're gonna lift off the right leg here. Pointing the toes down to the ground to make sure those hips are squared down. You can stay here with the hands grounded or try to lift off the hands, find a balance. Warrior 3. We'll bend into the front standing leg. Gently drop the toes far back behind you into a high lunge, bending the front knee 90 degrees, arms go overhead, straight and active through the back leg. We'll take some time here bending and straightening the back leg. So dropping it down, extending the back knee straight. And we'll press up, low, high lunge, inhaling. Exhale, we pivot open towards the long edge, back heel grounds. And we bring our arms parallel into our warrior 2, sinking low in the front knee. We'll straighten through the front knee here. Pull the fingertips forward and exhale, fold over the side body, coming into triangle pose, stacking shoulders and hips, bringing your gaze up. We'll exhale, release the arms forward, wide-legged forward fold, turning both toes towards the long edge. You can kind of pigeon toe here first, releasing into a fold. Just relaxing, giving yourself a breath or two here. And we'll inhale, push the chest all the way up. We'll turn the toes out, heels in, still a wide-legged stance. This is our sunflower flow. Not really sure why, but it is. We'll inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, bend into the knees, bend into the elbows, kind of Wing them into the side. We inhale here. Exhale, we're going to fold forward with bent knees. You can maybe even cross the hands as you ground them. And we'll inhale, reach it all the way up to standing, straightening through the knees. Exhale, bend. We bend the elbows into the side, bend the knees. Inhale here. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. And we inhale, reach it all the way up to standing. Exhale, bend into the knees, arms W by your side. Inhale here. Exhale, fold the chest forward, plant the hands. We'll inhale, rise it all the way up to standing. We're going to turn front toes forward, bend into the front knee. Back foot is like perpendicular, kind of pointing towards the short edge of the long edge of the mat. We parallel the arms to the ground, warrior 2. We'll take our side angle, dropping the front forearm onto the front thigh. Back arm goes overhead, side angle. You can stay here or take it whichever variation. Maybe the bottom left arm goes inside of the left foot, grounded, maybe on a block. Or you could go for the bind. Top arm goes around the back to the back thigh. Bottom hand goes underneath the thigh. And we're trying to grab the hands together behind the leg. Yes. We'll release the hands here. Pivot the back foot down. You can drop the back knee. We're just going to come into a lizard lunge. Heel toeing the front left foot to the outer edge of the mat. Just kind of settling into a nice lunge here. You can take a moment to push this knee away, maybe rolling on to the outer edge of the front foot a few times. And we'll come back through center, maybe dropping onto the forearms, for extra hip stretch. We'll come up onto the hands, heel toe this foot in between the hands, sinking the hips into a low lunge. And we'll push the hips back, straighten through the front knee as we come here into a half split, flexing through the front foot, drawing the right hip forward, left hip back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. We'll tuck the back toes, straighten through the back knee here. We're taking a wide pyramid pose, fold. And we'll step the back foot in about a foot, point the toes towards the corner of the mat, squaring the hips out. We again take a fold. Ooh. We'll inhale, lift through the chest, spread the arms to a T, and we'll exhale, bring the right hand down, either inside of the foot, on top of the foot, or outside of the right foot. Revolve triangle. It's definitely a balancing challenge, trying to bring the gaze up. All right, one last little challenge here, one last pose in the sequence. Try your best. You can meet me in a forward fold at any point. We're going to take the right hand in front of the left foot and try to lift off the back right toes, finding a revolved half moon, trying to find a balance and the revolve shape. Woohoo! We'll drop the right foot down, releasing into a forward fold, and inhale, standing it all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands by your side. Feel free to shake it out a bit. We're going to take it to the other side from here. Inhaling, we'll sit back into our chair pose, big toes together. We'll take a few heel lifts here, rising up onto the tippy toes in our chair. And we'll release the heels down, straighten through the knees, release into a forward fold. Inhale. We'll plant the hands, lift off the left foot here, kind of bringing it up parallel to the ground, toes pointing towards the ground. And if you want, try to take the balance. Warrior 3, lifting off the hands. Our body's like a T, trying to straighten through both knees. We'll bend into the front knee, drop the lifted toes back. We reach the arms overhead into a high lunge. We'll take a few knee dips here, bending the back knee to touch the ground and lifting it back up. Few more. Bending and straightening. We'll straighten through the back leg. We're pivoting the back foot down to point towards the long edge. Arms come parallel, warrior 2. Deep bend in the front knee. We'll inhale, straighten through the front knee, pull the fingertips forward, tip over the side body into our triangle pose. Really lengthening through the side, not trying to dump too much weight into the bottom hand, trying to stay lifted. We'll exhale, release into a wide-legged forward fold. I'm just going to turn to face you. Wide-legged forward fold towards the long edge of the mat, releasing. Just a breath or two here. Maybe you sway the hips a little side to side. We'll reach it all the way up with the chest. We'll turn the heels in, toes out. So this is our moonflower flow, which I'm, again, not sure why. We inhale, reach the arms up. We'll actually point the toes forward a bit more here. And as we bend, we kind of take a side lunge down, bow the chest down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side lunge on the other side, bow the chest down. Inhale, reach up. That's all there is to it. Exhale down to the other side. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. We'll go one more each way. Down and up. Exhale down and up. Turning the front toes forward, bending into the front knee. Warrior two. Sinking low. Yes. Drop the front forearm onto the front thigh, back arm overhead, side angle. Whichever variation here. Realize I'm doing it on, yeah, I think I should be doing it on this side. Whichever variation here, drop the right hand inside the right leg, or take the right arm underneath the thigh, top left arm behind you, binding, grabbing the fingers, gazing up. We'll release the hands inside the foot, pivot the back foot down, turning again to face the short edge of the mat. I'm going to turn back around to my original pose. All right, and we'll take lizard. So heel toeing this foot to the outer edge of the mat, hands inside of the foot. You feel free to kind of push the knee away, roll onto the outer edge of the right foot a few times. And we'll come back through center. You can keep this knee rolled out if you want as we lower down onto the forearms, getting a little bit deeper into the stretch. We'll ground back through the hands. Heel toe the foot in between the hands, coming into a low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, push the hips back, straighten through the front knee. We'll draw the left hip forward, right hip back. Flex through the foot. Taking one more breath here. Relax. And we'll tuck the back toes, straighten the back knee. Taking a fold in our wide pyramid. And stepping the back foot in, pointing it towards the corner of the mat. We take a shorter stance pyramid, squaring the hips, straightening through both knees, folding. Inhaling back up, arms out to a T. We're going to exhale, take the left hand down here, either inside of the foot on top, or you can take it outside on a block, whatever works for you. Turning the gaze up, trying to keep straight through both legs. And we'll take our last pose here. Walk the left hand in front of the right foot. And we're going to try to lift off the back left toes. Revolved half moon. Excuse me. We'll drop the left foot down to meet the right. Sorry, mine was a little weak there. We'll exhale, release into a forward fold. And inhale, roll it all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, hands by your side. We'll start the cool down here, turning the toes out, taking the feet wide. We'll sit down into a squat. So maybe grounding through the hands in front of you, or keeping hands at heart center, pushing, using your elbows to push the knees away. Maybe swaying a bit side to side. We'll drop the hands behind us and come to a seated position. Extending the legs straight out once more. Actually, we'll do it on our back. We'll come to our back and extend the legs straight up overhead, grabbing onto the calves or ankles. We'll bend into the knees, grab the outsides of the feet, try to pull the knees down towards the ground, coming into a happy baby, maybe bending and straightening some through the knees. And we'll release. You can ground through the feet, knees point up. We'll take the right ankle maybe first, cross it over the left thigh, and pull the left thigh into you. Figure four pigeon stretch. Just slowing down the breath here. And we'll release the stretch, extending straight through the left leg, bending the right knee into the chest. We'll cross the right knee over to the left, trying to ground it through onto the ground, extending the right arm out to the side, turning the gaze to the right, take a twist. We'll inhale, come back through center and switch sides. So left ankle crosses over the right. We'll pull the right thigh in. Deepening the breath. Oh, deepening the breath. We'll extend the right leg straight, hug the left knee in, and cross the left knee over to the right, opening through the arms, turning the gaze to the left, trying to ground through both shoulders. And we'll come back through center. Wonderful. Hugging the knees in, making a tight hug, embracing, giving yourself lots of love, pulling the head in towards the knees. And thank you for showing up today, for doing hard work, slowly unraveling, releasing into your final resting posture, Shavasana. You can let your arms come by your side, palms up, let the feet flare, deepening the breath for a moment before relaxing, releasing into complete relaxation, no effort of the breath or control kind of over anything, just taking an observer stance, letting the body process, the mind process. I encourage you to stay in your Shavasana much longer and enjoy the rest. I am, yeah, actually, we'll just take it. We'll take it. 2 minutes maybe. Just relax heavy into the ground. Anything in the forehead, the cheeks, the jaw, any tension, let it go. Maybe even taking this time to recall the intention you set at the beginning of practice that you'd like to carry into the new year. I will leave you from here. I'm just going to sit up and close the practice off, but really do please stay longer in Shavasana. Take your time in it, enjoy it. I thank you so much for coming to class today, for taking part, and I wish you a wonderful, happy new year. All your dreams come true. Peace. Thank you so